If you hear a knock at your window in the middle of the night, and you live upstairs with no balcony, will you open it? This strange thing happened to my cousin Uche back when he was staying in Lagos. He had just gotten a new job and moved into a 3-story compound around Iyana Ipaja. Fresh start, fresh hope. He didn't have much, so when he saw a small room on the 3rd floor for a cheap price, he quickly paid. It looked normal. Small bed, 1 fan, a big window that faced the back of the compound. Uche was happy. He even said, "This Lagos go hear from me this year." Everything was fine the first few nights. He would come back tired from work, eat his bread and sardine, shower, sleep. But on the 3rd night, something happened. Around 2 a.m., Uche was deep in sleep when he heard a sound. Knock, knock, knock. He opened his eyes, confused. He sat up slowly. Again, knock, knock, knock. It wasn't the door. It was his window. That window had no balcony, no stairs, nothing to climb. It was facing the back of the building, and his room was high up, 3rd floor. He paused. Maybe it was a bird, maybe wind. Then again, knock, knock. This time, slower, softer. Almost like someone was begging, not angry, just sad. Uche's heart began to pound. He stood up, slowly, legs shaking. He held his breath, walked to the curtain, and opened just a little. And that's when he saw her. A young woman, hair dripping wet, skin looking pale, like someone who had been under the rain for hours. Her eyes were wide, but empty. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. She just stared at him. Then she pointed. Not at him. Downward. Uche followed her finger with his eyes and looked to the ground at the back of the compound. There, lying in the grass, was someone, a woman, still, soaked, wearing the exact same clothes as the one at the window. Uche screamed, the kind of scream that doesn't come from the throat, but from the bones. By morning, the whole compound had gathered. He couldn't sleep again that night. Everyone asked questions. Even the caretaker came. After a long silence, the caretaker quietly said, "There was a girl. Her name was Peku. She used to live in that same room 2 months ago. She kept to herself, always quiet. Nobody noticed when things started going wrong for her. One evening, something happened, and she was no longer seen. The caretaker said people thought she left for the village, but maybe her story wasn't finished. Maybe she wanted someone to finally look, to notice, to care." That night, they held a small prayer in the compound. They lit a candle at the back of the house. The women from Flat 1 sang softly. Uche didn't come out. He stayed in his room, sitting with his light on till morning. Since that day, Uche never opened his window at night again, not even during the hottest nights. And every time I visit him, he still says, "There are some knocks you should never answer, especially when you know nobody is supposed to be there."